Micheal Burry just bought these 3 stocks and they could explode very soon. Alrighty, everybody, what is up? Kyle with Finance Bro back with another video. We have some very interesting news about Micheal Burry in a recent SEC filing that dictates a couple of stocks that he has a large ownership of and potentially have some really high upside. Now we're going to get into all of that here in this video, and before we do any of that, I want to make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you guys never miss a new video that we post every single day. Also, if you haven't already, join our Discord with the first link down in the description below. Again, this is how you get access to our buy and sell alerts. All you have to do is go into the Discord, go over to this join us now category, hit this link, and you guys will get taken to upgrade chat where you can get access to our daily buy and sell alerts and one of our various pricing options that we have. We cover all budgets and anything you guys might need. Obviously, DM me on Discord if you have any other questions about that as well. I'm always answering DMs and questions on there in general. Now, let's get into what is going on with the stock market currently, right? So today was kind of a mixed day. We saw a little bit of a push towards the upside here into kind of the intraday close. We're currently at about 12:07 here on the West Coast time. The market is in power hour right now. Not much is happening really. We're not seeing a huge move in either direction. Currently down a little bit here, trying to push back up, but really not much action today, right? And those are the types of days where I typically am not trading too much, right? I kind of like to pull back here and kind of weigh my options, figure out what the best move to make in these overall market conditions are as I'm watching them kind of play out on a more kind of micro basis, right? As you can see here on the dates that we have on the bottom of this chart, as I move this skimmer, we can see here, this is what the overall market session looked like. It was kind of all over the place, right? Very choppy day, not a great day for option plays, really not a great day for much of anything, really. No clear kind of discounts being, really presented themselves on any of these other major stocks. But that is why this SEC filing about Micheal Burry with these 3 stocks that he currently owns could not come at a better time, right? Could not come at a better time. And we're going to be talking about what these stocks are and why they have the potential upside that they do have. So SEC filing, Micheal Burry bought these under the radar stocks. So let's read a little bit more about what's going on here and why these are a big deal. So we're now 45 days into 2023, which means that hedge funds are now having to disclose the positions that they owned at the end of the year to the public with SEC filings known as 13Fs. These are incredibly important filings because we all know that a lot of these smaller retail players, even people like us, tend to look at the hedge funds and the big players like Micheal Burry and other accredited investors and look at them to see what they're buying, what they're investing in, and more importantly, where they think the market is going as far as what those holdings are dictating, right? And Micheal Burry has been no stranger to a lot of infamy and a lot of fame, right? Of course, the infamous Big Short was his doing when he shorted the overall housing crisis that occurred in the early 2000s. And of course, everything that happened after that, made a ton of money off that and was incredibly right when everyone thought that he was incredibly wrong. That is why Micheal Burry is still to this day so revered as a accredited investor, because he was able to really see something coming that a lot of people really were not expecting. So let's get into this kind of part right here and some of these stocks, right? So his largest holding is Boca Raton-based Geo Group, or GEO. So this is a company that owns and operates private prisons and immigration detention centers in the US and other Anglosphere countries. So Geo is, of course, a controversial, cheap, and unglamorous stock. But again, Burry likes this stock because it has been up about 56% just over the last 12 months, even after selling off since reporting earnings this month. High numbers of migrants are currently attempting to enter the US each month, hammering home the point that Geo's services to the US will be ongoing for the foreseeable future. Now, again, I want to make this very clear, guys. I'm not taking any political stance on whether or not this stock is the right stock to own or a moral high ground or anything. We're purely looking at this stock as what Micheal Burry is holding and why he thinks it could potentially have some potential to kind of go up in the coming future. As far as we can tell, Geo stock trades for about 9x of its 2023 earnings. Although there isn't a lot of sell-side analyst coverage, Burry seems to have sold half his position in Q4 likely realizing a healthy profit on his shares. It's not clear whether Burry will stay in GO for the long run or sell the rest soon. This is probably not something that he's going to stay in the long run, though, just to kind of keep everything very clear. This seems like a more short position that he is going to be taking on that. His second largest holding is Black Knight, or BKI. This one is a little easier to figure out. It's a net merger arbitrage play. So BKI is being bought by an intercontinental exchange, or ICE, for $68 plus a bunch of ICE shares at the current price of about $83 per share. And again, a lot more math goes into this with some of the return calculations. That's about a 31% roughly calculated return that he could be looking at with Burry longing this stock. So if Burry is long in the stock, we can assess that he thinks that the deal is likely to go through despite opposition from antitrust regulators. There are also other bidders for this company, likely merger arbitrage right now for a few reasons. The first is that higher cash rates plus a deal spreads, obviously the deal spread is obviously a big deal, wider because investors demand compensation for the time value of their money. And obviously the second reason also is that they're getting deals caught up in an antitrust isn't the end of the world, even if they are eventually succeed, because long-term capital gains are taxed less than short-term gains. If you buy a stock and it drags out for over a year, you get compensated for the tax code. Obviously that's a kind of key play there. So Micheal Burry is kind of intending on playing this kind of interesting little arbitrage play here. This is something that seems to be a little bit more short-term in the overall thesis, and something that he's obviously going to be holding for not really the long-term future as far as we can tell. Burry also owns shares in Coherent Corporation, or COHR, which is a manufacturing company that supports the semiconductor industry. This looks pretty genius because it's trading at about 12x of its 2023 earnings, with about 20% annual growth potential over the next few years. This is likely related to the U.S. spending billions to move semiconductor supply chains onshore. Well, kind of a good play there, right? Kind of a good play on semiconductors that he's making. He also owns, obviously, Alibaba, JD.com, MGM International. And again, he kind of talks a little bit, at least apparently last couple of tweets, he said Chinese stocks and stocks linked to China were cheap, and that the old boss is the new boss. And since then, Chinese shares have staged a massive rally, massive rally. Nice word there, Kyle. Likely proving Burry right once again. And again, most of these big recovery plays in the Chinese markets have paid off pretty well to those who are willing to take the risk. Burry, it seems, was no stranger to that as well. Overall, guys, my opinion on these stocks, again, these are all very interesting plays for their own reasons, and it seems though that a lot of them have run a little bit of a course. There are a few that might still have some potential to run a little bit more. That is the problem though with these 13F ticker tapes, is that typically we're getting them a little bit later than we normally would, right? We're getting these types, these pieces of information, these position information, kind of, where they're at. We're getting these a lot later, so we're not always getting those immediate, instant. This is exactly what I'm buying. Here's the price that it's at. Here's why I'm buying it. And that obviously is going to detract from overall gains if other people wanted to copy some of these larger hedge fund managers and things of that nature. Again, guys, overall market's not doing too crazy right now. I'm not really investing in anything major today. Made a couple of option plays in the Discord, which is why you guys got to join up so you guys don't miss those. Made a quick little 20% here, 15% there. Nice little gains here and there. If you haven't already, guys, again, it's the first link down in the description below. Amazing community, awesome people in there, and I would love to see you guys in there as well. Other than that, though, guys, it's pretty much all I have for you guys today. I'm Kyle with Finance Bro. Take it easy.